Hi, my dear students. Myself, Anu Shashidharan, Academic Director and Biology Faculty of Rankings Entrance Training Academy. I welcome you all in this video lesson. Today, I am going to talk about the concept excretion. The topic for the students of class 10. So first of all, what is excretion? The removal of harmful waste from the body is called excretion. Many wastes are produced during various metabolic activities. These need to be removed in time because their accumulation in the body can be harmful and even lethal for organisms. As you know, different organisms use different strategies for excretion. Suppose in many unicellular organisms, remove these waste by simple diffusion from the body surface into the surrounding water. But in complex multicellular organisms like humans, they are having specialized organs to perform this process. You are very familiar. The organ system responsible for excretion, we can collectively call the excretory system. So first of all, I am going to discuss excretion in human beings. You are very familiar. The excretion in human beings occur with the help of a well-developed excretory system. Okay, there are different types of excretory system in humans, but the urinary system is one of the main excretory system. This is the diagrammatic representation of urinary system. It's a type of excretory system in humans. Okay, it consisting of a pair of kidney, okay, a pair of ureter, a urinary bladder, and a urethra. Okay, so do you know what is the function of kidney? First of all, you are very familiar. The kidney are actually located in the abdomen, one either side of the backbone. Okay, the main function of kidney, you are very familiar. Remove the poisonous substances from the blood. Okay, that leads the formation of urine. Okay, what is the function of this ureter? The ureter, which conveys the urine from the kidney to the urinary bladder. Okay, what is the function of urinary bladder? The urinary bladder where the urine collects and temporarily stores. Okay, the urethra, through which the urine is discharged from the urinary bladder to the exterior. Okay, first of all, now we have to discuss how the kidney works. This is actually the diagrammatic representation showing the human kidney and its associated blood vessels. Now you can see two blood vessels are there. This red colored blood vessel is called a renal artery. Do you know what is the function of renal artery? The renal artery which brings the blood with the waste products into the kidney. Inside the kidney, what happens? The waste products are filtered out. That leads to the formation of urine. Okay, the waste products that should be enter into urinary bladder through the ureter. Okay, finally what happened? The blood becomes clean. And what is the function of renal vein? Renal vein carries the clean blood from the kidney. For the process of urine formation or the filtration of dirty blood, each kidney having millions of structural units. Okay, the structural units we can collectively call the nephron. Is it clear? It means each kidney is actually made up of large number of excretory units called a nephron. Okay, there are 1 million nephron per kidney. The detailed structure of nephron we will discuss later. This is the way in which the kidney should function. Okay, the main function you are very familiar, the urine formation or the filtration of blood. This is the diagrammatic representation showing the internal structure of human kidney. The three important parts of human kidney I'm going to discuss over here. The outermost protective portion of human kidney is called the cortex. See, this is the cortex. Okay, the cortex where the blood is filtered. Okay, the inner soft portion, what we can say, it is called a medulla. This medulla contains the collecting duct which carry filtrate to the pelvis. Okay, what is the meaning of filtrate over here? The filtrate we can call it as urine. Okay, what is the meaning of pelvis? You know, pelvis, this is actually a hollow cavity where urine is accumulates and drains into the ureter. Okay, the third region you can see, this is called a hilum. Okay, hilum means there is a dispersion located in the middle of the concave side of the kidney, where the blood vessels, nerves, and ureters enter and exit the kidney. Is it clear? Hilum is actually a region in which the blood vessels, you know, blood vessels, the renal artery and renal veins, then different types of nerves and ureters enter and exit through this hilum. Okay, this is actually the structure of human kidney. Now we have to learn in detail the structure of nephron. Look, this is actually the diagrammatic representation of nephron. I said each kidney is made up of large number of excretory units called a nephron. See, when you consider this diagrammatic representation, you can see that the nephron actually having a cup-shaped structure at its upper end. Can you see? This cup-shaped structure is called a Bowman's capsule. Is it clear? The lower end of the capsule, there is a tube-shaped structure. Can you see? This tube-shaped structure we can collectively call the tubules. This tubule actually having three important regions. Okay, this is called a proximal convoluted tubule. Okay, the beginning of the tubule, we can call it as proximal convoluted tubule, PCT. And this U-shaped structure or this U-shaped tubule, we can collectively call the loop of Henle or Henle's loop. And at the end of the tubule, the region we can collectively call the distal convoluted tubule or DCT. Okay, you can see that one end of this tubule is actually connected to the Bowman's capsule, and other end of the tubule you can see it's actually connected to a urine collecting duct. Okay, and this Bowman's capsule, it contains bundle of blood capillaries. Can you see? Okay, this Bowman's capsule contains a bundle of blood capillaries which is called a glomerulus. See, this is called a glomerulus. Okay, you can see that one end of the glomerulus is attached to renal artery. This region is called the afferent arteriole. It's a part of renal artery. You know, the renal artery brings the dirty blood into it. Okay, and the other end of the glomerulus come out of the capsule. Okay, or I mean, they come out of the Bowman's capsule as a blood capillary. Okay, the other end of the glomerulus, it comes out. Now it is called the efferent arteriole, and that should come converted into capillaries. You can see that the capillaries actually surrounded the tubule and finally joins to renal vein. Is it clear? This is actually the structure of nephron. Now we are going to learn the function of nephron. The function of nephron, you are very familiar, the urine formation. So now we have to discuss how is urine formed. You know, the formation of urine occur in two different steps. First one, the process of filtration, and second one, the process of reabsorption. Okay, first of all, I'm going to discuss about filtration. Okay, this is actually the Bowman's capsule. Inside the Bowman's capsule, there is a tuft of blood vessels called glomerulus. So this is another important detailed diagrammatic representation of Bowman's capsule, and this is the glomerulus. Okay, as you know, the blood actually moving through the glomerulus under high pressure. Because of this high pressure, it forcing a filtrate through the thin wall of the glomerulus into the Bowman's capsule. Okay, that means this filtrate actually contains water, urea, glucose, amino acids, and various types of salts. This is actually called a glomerular filtrate. Is it clear? So what I said, I repeat once again, when the blood actually moving through this glomerulus, what happened? Because of high pressure, it forcing a filtrate through the thin wall of the glomerulus into the Bowman's capsule. This is actually called a glomerular filtrate. You are very familiar. This filtrate actually composed of water, urea, glucose, amino acids, and various salts. As a result, what happened? This filtrate enter into the tubule, and the filtrate actually moving through this tubule. Okay, and other end of the glomerulus, what happened? The purified blood enter into efferent arteriole. Is it clear? Second process, I said the process of reabsorption. That means the main function of this tubule, you are very familiar. It allows the selective reabsorption of useful substances. You just imagine this filtrate actually having so many useful substances. Okay, dear children, which are the useful substances in this filtrate? The glucose, amino acid, water, etc. are useful substances. Okay, so when this filtrate actually moving through this tubule, especially the loop of Henle, what happens? The selective reabsorption of useful substances into the capillaries. So which are the useful substances? Glucose, amino acid, salt, and excess amount of water, etc. should be reabsorbed into the capillaries surrounding this tubule. Is it clear? And as a result, what happened? Only the waste substances are, the unwanted substances and unwanted salt and excess water are remain behind in the tubule. The liquid left behind in the tubule of nephron is called the urine, which is enter into the collecting duct. Okay, the reabsorbed useful substances, the glucose, amino acid, etc., that should be reabsorbed into the capillaries and finally enter into renal vein. Is it clear? This is actually the function of nephron. I hope you have understood the structure and function of nephron. This is the way in which the urine formation occur in human body. After the collection of urine into the collecting ducts, what happened? That should finally enter into urinary bladder through the ureter that we have discussed earlier. Okay, this is something about the excretory system and the process of urine formation occur in humans. Dear children, we have to learn one more topic, that is excretion in plants. You are very familiar, plants also having some excretory products, as a result of various metabolic activities. Plants eliminate some waste through a process called diffusion. During the daytime, excess oxygen gas produced by photosynthesis is released through the stomata. Carbon dioxide produced by respiration is normally used up during photosynthesis. At night, however, as photosynthesis slows, means there will be no photosynthesis, carbon dioxide is not used up as fast as it is produced. And it is released as a waste product through the stomata. And you are very familiar, the plants actually get rid of excess water by transpiration. Do you know what is the meaning of transpiration? Transpiration means the excess water should be converted into water vapor and released from the plant through the stomata. The process is called transpiration. Next one, many plant waste products are actually stored in the cellular vacuole. And some of the waste products may be stored in the leaves, bark, and fruits. The plants get rid of these wastes by shedding of leaves, peeling of bark, etc. Some of the plant products, plant wastes are very useful to humans. For example, natural rubber, the gums of certain plants, essential oils like eucalyptus oil, clove oil, etc. used by humans. Is it clear? This is something about the excretion process occur in both plants and humans. Okay, I hope you have understood all the concepts thoroughly. You have to go through this video lesson again and again for better understanding. Thank you all.